This is our first session of the day, a solo talk by Andrey Kalugin of Xsolla to talk about web shops for mobile with some lessons and learnings. So please welcome him to the stage, and we'll kick things off.
Thank you, Dave. Actually, it's very hard to have a presentation after lunch. It's very hard to distract people from what they enjoy the most. But okay, anyway, let's start. My name is Andrey Kalugin. I'm regional director for Xsolla, and what we do in Xsolla, we help game developers to monetize around the globe in different countries, in different cultures, and using different payment methods. Actually, in today, I would like to talk with you about key learnings that we've got after launching more than 150 web shops for mobile games that we did over the last 18 months. Okay, so today, mobile games market really experience a lot of issues. Okay, it's not me. Okay, so we saw that in 2022 mobile market squeezed by around 7%. We see that people spend less and less after COVID time, and at the same time, national regulators put pressure on platforms, and that limit the ability to successfully operate and monetize stores. And really, it's good time to think about alternatives. What should you do differently, and what should you do else in order to ensure that you have solid revenue stream and solid cash inflows? Okay, so I would like to start with simple statement about difference between platform and boutique as we talk about web shops. So there are two different concepts. First concept, it's marketplace. We call it platform when you sell some virtual currencies, some virtual currency packs on the marketplace. And you just part of choice that customer has. And bad thing about platform is that really you share your gamers, your customers with another developers, another publishers, and other projects. Another approach about web shop that you create your own landing page, white label store, and within this white label store, you sell exclusively to gamers. Your virtual items, virtual currencies, bundles, and so on. And actually, also, there is perception that web shop are just single top-up page where players just can replenish balance of the virtual currency. This is actually quite limited view, framed view on this idea. We in Xsolla believe that web shop is just really direct-to-consumer engine which can help you to monetize your product using rich live ops techniques as bundles, promotions, and you can do also retention and implement another engagement mechanics that help you to generate high profitable revenue stream. And actually, one important thing, why as developer you should have web shop. Okay, you have well-established product, you sell directly to, not directly, but you sell via Apple and Google stores to your gamers, but you share some significant amount of revenue. So you can actually create additional revenue stream with higher margin, with better profit for you, in order to get a bit more cash for your developers, for your studio, for your user acquisition activities. And you should think about web shop not as about substitution of standard well-established channel, but you should think about web shop as extension to what already exists. And you should think about a web shop as augmentation to store that you already operate. And with this augmentation, again, you can create better margin, better profit, and more revenue. Okay, so let's talk about results. So what we've got for the last 18 months. So we launched more than 100 stores, so they have very different KPIs, and those KPIs they very depend how web shop is built, how it's operated. But we see that in best case scenarios, up to 30–40% of paying users moves to web shop. We'll talk about this why, but this is just very simple and solid KPIs. So web shop, good established and well-crafted web shop can give you 40-60% of conversion rate from login to purchase. And all this will give you up to 20% of incremental revenue what you earn within your existing well-established channels like Apple Store and Google Play Store. And with web shops, we see that average number of repeated purchases is around 5. So as you think about web shop, okay, what it can give to me, think about these numbers as I would say best case scenarios. So when you build your own business case and when you talk companies like Xsolla or our competitors, and you can use these numbers as benchmark for your revenue projections. Okay, so now let's talk about the concepts, what's the idea behind web shop for end users. So our purpose and our mission with this solution to create two different, I would say, concepts, two streams. So first concept that, okay, mobile is where I play and web is where I pay. So really for end user, frankly speaking, is in current situation with current status quo, it's much more easier to pay within application, right? But we think about our business goals. So what we should improve profitability of our business, right? We want to improve our cost structure of our store and operations. And moving gamers from mobile, I would say jail, to web shop is the way how you can increase this profitability. An idea that we need to create a habit for paying users to play on mobile and pay on web. So, and mechanics that I will show you, demonstrate, they help create such habit, can create such paradigm that there are two different behavior patterns for playing and paying. Okay, so what lessons we have learned? So for successful web shop launch and operating, there are 3 crucial components you should take into consideration. First of all, it's messaging. How to create awareness of the web shop existence, and you need reinforce the idea and message of increased value outside of your mobile ecosystem. So messaging and making aware and bringing gamers to web shop is the first crucial thing we need to resolve. Incentive. We need to be hyper clear about incremental value that gamer gets on web shop compared to value he gets on mobile shop. So value, we call it incentive value. So it's I would say it's top thing that motivate gamers to switch their behavior partner and start to play just on mobile and start to pay on web. So value. And there are actually a lot of frictions, right? And we need to think how we reduce those frictions. Because, okay, in-game experience is very smooth and solid. All payment methods already there, authentication, you shouldn't think about this, all operational stuff, it's all well established. And in order to motivate, I would say, help gamers continue to use web shop, we need to think how we reduce friction and how to make transactions easy and seamless. So we'll talk about this in a few minutes. So those are 3 key elements. Now let's dive into details. Okay, messaging. Here it's very important. Just okay, all mobile developers, they know how to, I would say, categorize their gamers base. And let's be honest. So we demonstrate the best, and the web shop demonstrate the best performance if you have already well-established gamers base. If you have whales, you have dolphins, and web shops works very well for those gamers who already spend a lot. There is no reason to launch web shop if you just launching your product, if you're just starting. And idea here that, again, those people, those gamers, they spend a lot. They want to spend a lot. We don't want to give them any discounts. We just can give them better value on web shop. And target audience, primary target audience for web shop, of course, it's whales. And then we can think about already dolphins and making non-paying users to pay. And we have some cases about this also. Okay. There are two steps, so in messaging part. So we need to create awareness of web shop existence and its value, and we need to reinforce value message and stimulate repeating purchases. And step one is crucial, right? Because as I talk to my partners, to developers, so there are two core questions. Why gamer should go to web shop, and what compliant instruments do we have to do this? So let's talk about this. So, and why? So the first, and you know, the answers for these questions, they vary from genre to genre. And based on our experience, those gamers who play core games, mid-core games, hardcore games, they're much more easier to switch to web shop just because they're heavily engaged with game experience. They spend a lot, they purchase a lot, and as you start to give them better value on web shop, for them it's much easier to switch. With casual gamers, it's much harder to do, but still possible. So, incentive. So, as we talk about incentive, so about what kind of incentives we should think. Okay, it's all, again, we'll talk about messaging. So, as I mentioned, the most crucial and important and hard to execute exercise to make the first purchase, because gamers, they have a lot of concerns. Okay, why should I go on some website? Is it scam? Should I use some, you know, should I reveal my payment methods? Should I authenticate? A lot of questions he has in his head. That's why the first time purchase should have a killer offer in terms of value. As we work with our partners, we ask them do not discount. Look, again, we talk about whales, right? Whales don't want to save money. They don't want to get more. And as due to better margin, better cost with web shop, you can give them better value. And in order to, I would say, uncap this, you know, magic of web shop, this first time offer that you do for first gamers should be killer offer. This can be just, you know, single, you know, limited availability bundle. You can just ship or sell 1-2 bundles maximum, just to open this door and let gamer to come into your web shop. Then we're in order to reinforce, you know, his visits and make the gamer to return, you should think about giving, you know, daily rewards, daily gifts, and platforms, good, well-established web shop platforms, they have such instruments that allow you to initiate free items, daily reward. Gamer just need to return to web shop and see, okay, what else you have for me? Okay, and reduce friction. This is super crucial thing, because there are a few, I'll say, we have 3, but I believe there are 2 major things. Authentication and payment detail input. Because look, when there is in-game purchase experience, again, everything is well established. Platforms have very good, you know, UX for storing payment methods. In terms of authentication, no any troubles. And we ask our developers do not make those things simplicated. For example, if you have age ratings for your game, don't implement age rating for authentication on web shop. Do just inside your game. Don't use 2 steps authentication or multi-factor authentication, because they make the whole process much longer. Platforms like Xsolla provide solid anti-fraud protection, and really we can protect you against those unwanted fraud. And complicated ways to protect the shop are not required. Also, payment detail input. Really, many gamers and users are very conscious about storing payment like credit cards, credentials, so on. That is why the beauty of services like Xsolla, that we give ability to use multiple payment methods. And also what you can do, you can incentivize gamers if they save the payment method within your web shop infrastructure. Okay, so now we need to, after we actually agreed on the messaging, so now there's another thing, how to bring customers, gamers to web shop. And this is very, I would say, sensitive area, because platforms like Apple or Google, they have very strict policies how you can convince gamer about alternative payment methods and alternative stores, right? And there are a lot of no-goes, right? A lot of boundaries. And we ask our partners to follow these rules. You know, I got funny cases, so few partners from China who really don't care a lot, and they put, you know, the buttons, okay, pay with Xsolla, pay with Apple, pay with Google, sign the game. This is what we do not want developers to do. You should comply with the policies 100% of time, but there are ways to bring and inform customers in compliant in a good way. So, first of all, you need to think about communities, right? And remember, I mentioned hardcore and midcore games, so communities and people are very engaged with your game. Build community work, use Discord, Reddit, social media, forums and newsletters to inform your audience about coming web shop, about offers you have, and so on. As for advertisement, we'll talk about you can use retargeting as instrument to bring customers, your gamers, your whales to web shop. Also, you can use in-app calls to action, but you should be very conscious. Those calls to actions shouldn't be about web shop. Never say anything about web shop inside your game, but you can bring gamers to FAQ pages, community pages, leaderboards, and use these in-app collections to make gamers aware through your website. Bring them to your website, and then on your website, from the website, forward them to your web shop. And there is another, of course, key element which is not mentioned here. It's communicative sales. So it's a way to interact with gamers using messengers. Conversational sales. So when you can reach your customer using Telegram, Viber, WhatsApp, and sell directly to them. Another communication channel which is used by social casinos, and I see that more mid-core games use it, like concierge service for your whales. Those developers know names of whales. They know personally people who spend a lot, and they send them very personalized communications, very personalized offers. They treat them very carefully, personally. They provide them really concierge service. And you can use the same approach to make gamers aware about your web shop. And as you prepare for launch of web shop, just use variety of those medias to enforce your message. Just state, guys, there will be new shop. There will be exclusive offers, very sexy and sweet bundles. You don't underestimate power of newsletters, which are really also used by mid-core projects. And retargeting, just 1 minute to stop here. This is what we actively started to use recently with our partners. So, idea about retargeting that you know who your gamers are, whales are, and you demonstrate advertisement to them. Important thing, you do not promote web shop at all, no. With retargeting, you need to promote offers. You need to promote offers which exclusively exist for those whales. And this really instrument you can use also inside your game. You can use it, show this advertisement in other games, on mobile application, desktop, and so on. please consider retargeting as very solid instrument to bring gamers there. Okay, just summarize here. In order to drive awareness to web shop, just make sure that you have very clear and solid value prop for first-time visitors. Use heavily your existing channels, standard channels to engage your community. Use newsletters and notifications inside the game, but it should be very compliant with platform's policies, be accurate here, and constantly reinforce a message about availability of a web shop. Okay, now about assortment, about SKUs. So what to sell? It's also very important, and what your pricing policy should be. So first of all, again, as I mentioned, please use free words just to make gamers to return to your web shop. And as we talk about first-time offer, first-time purchase, some gamers are very conscious about, smoothness of process, how it works, and they don't want to spend money in order to trial this web shop, right? But if you give free item, they can go through the whole journey, ensure themselves that everything works fine, and get this free item on in the inventory in mobile game. They'll just figure out, okay, everything works fine. Now I can spend money securely this web shop. Please use free items. So first-time purchase, again, just re-articulate. First offer should be killer offer, right? Should be offer that is hard to refuse. Just think about not discounts. Don't use discounts, but you think about extra value that you give to your whales. And another mechanics that you can use, promo codes for exclusive deals, and this is a good thing to use with influencers. If you use streamers, opinion leaders, just use these mechanics, time-limited offers, just to make more people aware and create this sense of urgency in order they would use this offer just the next 1 week. And so you really need to pack all these different kind of mechanics into one offer, so into one event. Launch event, it's a very crucial moment, and you really you shouldn't be greedy as we launch your web shop, because again, just remind, we need to create a habit: play on mobile, play on web. And about further, creation, habit, we see that high-value packs works very well on web shop. We have customers who generate more than half of the revenue selling currency packs above $1,000. Don't be afraid to set high prices there. On web shop, you are not limited with any price tiers. You can do whatever you want, and high-value packs works very well. You can also increase LTV implementing loyalty programs. Right? You can use your, I would say, web shop cashback points to stimulate gamers spend, and then those loyalty points can be spent for some in-game items, virtual currencies, and so on. And platforms like Xsolla give you such instruments to enable this loyalty program. So this also works very well. And season passes and battle passes also don't, as you think about web shop, don't think just about static assortment. Think also about seasonal passes, and these seasonal passes can again have richer value compared to what you have on mobile platform, just because of better margin for you. And okay, just a few pitfalls what we should avoid. So again, value is the king. Why? Because we need to stimulate gamer to purchase on web shop, and you need to ensure that you give solid way here. Also, the whole process shouldn't be complicated. Authentication, payment method, checkout, and so on. Just make it as simple as possible, because again, there is very smooth and convenient experience that already exists, right? And in order to motivate people to spend on the web shop, experience there should be also smooth and cozy. So don't replicate values and SKUs. So don't replicate bundles, prices, and SKUs compared to you have in mobile game. Differentiate. Web shop should be different. Again, don't discount. Just give better value and grab more revenue from gamers who are ready to spend more, who are ready to leave, give you this money. And well-established web shop platforms, they have instruments to do personalization. You can use, very convenient instruments to do personalized offers and bundles. Use them within your web shop, and again, it's all about differentiation. And I think another crucial thing to mention. Don't try to launch your ideal web shop just immediately at your launch. Do it by small steps. Right? Eat elephant by small pieces. Try different things, try different promotions, try different pricing strategies, try different bundling strategies, and promotion strategies. At the very end, your web shop will generate for you up to 30–40% of the revenue that you have on the mobile platforms. And I believe that the most big mistake that you could do not build web shop at all. But again, just to remind you, when we talk about web shop, not to substitute generic shops in the game experience that exist now. It will be there, it will generate the biggest part of your revenue, but you should think about web shop as extension to what you already have, and you should think about web shop as additional revenue generator for you. And not building web shop in this context is a huge pitfall. Okay, guys, that's all from my side. I'm open for questions. We have 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've got a couple of minutes there. If anyone has a question, I will bring the mic to you. There's a question here. I'll come over to you. So, yeah.
Okay, Vsevolod, you can do it privately. Why you want to ask right now?
Yeah, thank you for the pitch. Just wanted to know, so the user logs in on mobile can they use different methods like Apple ID, Google ID, or should they use Xsolla login option to then connect to the web shop?
Yeah. Actually, Xsolla has login servers, but it's not our exclusive Xsolla login. It's just, our platform that help developers to use Apple ID, Google account, Microsoft account, Facebook, mail, phone number, and so on. We support around 30 authentication method. So there are 2 ways to authenticate within the game. First of all, gamer ID can be used to initiate checkout, right? Every gamer has ID in his profile. He can check it in his mobile application, and just before checkout, gamer put his ID into checkout form. Done. There is another method when gamer authenticates, for example, with Facebook or Google account inside the game, and he authenticates with the same methods on web shop. And this is enough in order we could link mobile profile with web shop profile, and it is just enough to enable transaction and put item into gamer's inventory. So you have flexibility there.
Great, thank you. I think we're almost at the end. I've got a quick question for you, if I may, Andrey. Have you got a good example of a web shop that does this really well? If we wanted to go away from here and look up a web shop in a game that's doing this perfectly, who should we go to?
Okay, it's a funny question because some of our big, really enterprise customers are a bit shy because they're afraid to ruin relations with platforms. So we see there some of those representatives. So, and we respect this, but we have public cases like we work with Tilting Point, and they have a few web shops for their products. I would say that we have web shops for key AAA mobile developers, right? United States, European, Korean. Again, why? Because all of them think about additional revenue streams to the well-established business. So But in private conversation, if you come to me, okay, I will reveal some details.
Perfect.
Not publicly.
Thank you very much. We're at the end of the session there, so a round of applause, please, for Andrey from Xsolla.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me here. Have a good day.
Much. Thank you. Yeah, you too. Thank you very much. And yes, please do look any of our speakers up on Meet to Match if you want to follow up with them for a private meeting.